All right, guys, welcome back to the Spin Zone podcast with me, Cake Eater. And we got Vile, we got Martine, and of course, we have Chad. So, how are you three doing today?
I'm doing awesome today.
Okay. Vile?
I am Gucci. Gucci gang. Spent all my rent on a new chain.
Oh,
Hey, sometimes it be like that, though. Sometimes it do be like that. But Martine, how are you doing there, buddy?
Horrible. I have to do this podcast.
Whoa, that's wild.
wow.
Wow.
All
Wow.
jokes. All
Ladies and
jokes.
gentlemen, you have now tuned into Martine's last podcast with
Anyway, ladies and
Very
gentlemen,
good.
very last episode for Martine. And just kidding. But today we actually have a special guest coming from more of the west side of the USA. Let's give it
The
up.
west side.
Well, yeah, he's
Indiana's
ish.
east of us, brother.
The west side.
Northeast.
It's more like the Midwest.
The Midwest. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, another Midwest kind of area player. Let's give it up for Noiahplays. Noah, how are you doing today, buddy?
Hey guys, I am doing good. Excited to be on here.
Yeah, it is a honor, so appreciate you coming out. But if you would like to kind of talk about yourself and everything else like that, the floor is all yours. Give a little introduction.
All right. Yeah, my name is Noah, otherwise known as Noiahplays. It's a Spanish I. It was actually a nickname given to me. I am a fellow Baytuber. I do obviously different product review. My specialty in Beyblade and Baytubing is I try to focus on the community, and so what I'll have what we will do is that people will like ask for me to do their different combinations, and I will make their combinations and battle them together and see, kind of talk about the combination and try to come up with the best one.
Hey, that's not bad at all.
Hey, I like it though.
Yeah.
It kind of
Another
gives...
thing sorry.
No, this floor is all you. So you go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, another thing I also like to do is themed Beyblades. So if you've seen some of my videos, I like to do Beyblades based off of different movies, kind of try to merge Beyblades with other franchises. Like, for example, One Punch Man. I did Beyblade themed One Punch Man Beyblades. So I try to get their colors accurate and the attribute of the Beyblade to look like to act like the character from the show.
Interesting. What kind of came up with that idea?
Well, actually, it starred from was it the Beyblade family? They're like the British Beyblade family. I can't remember. I think that's what their name is.
Super Beyblade family.
Yes, I think that's it. They used to do back in the burst days, they used to do a lot of like superhero based Beyblade themes, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And so I decided to do my own version. And so I would go on with like How to Train Your Dragon, Ninjago, not One Piece, sorry, One Punch Man. Let's hear it. The last one I think I did was Avatar. I even did a Shaggy Beyblade.
Hey.
Well, I didn't finish it yet, but I'm planning on putting some together for that. So, anyways.
So is it just Shaggy that you're doing, or just like all of Scooby Doo?
Currently Shaggy. It's hard enough actually to get a brown Beyblade right now because we don't really have too many brown Beyblades yet. For Scooby Doo. The other characters I could probably do easy, but yeah, currently just Shaggy, based off of one of my last videos where people called me out for looking like Shaggy.
Hey, that's fair.
And so it's kind of like it's my YouTube meme.
Hey, that's fair. I also every once in a while get called Shaggy, so I'm in that same boat with you.
Isn't isn't one of the collab bays brown, like Moff Gideon or something?
Yes, I think not Moff Gideon. I think it's Mandalorian.
Yeah, the Mandalorian.
That might be right. It's
Yeah.
Mandalorian,
Yeah.
you're right.
Mando.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then Thanos has a brown tip, and that's the one I currently have.
Ooh.
Perfect.
So you're
Yeah.
almost there. So you gotta have
Yeah, I'm almost there.
a brown Beyblade, probably with like a green bit or at least a green ratchet, just to go with Shaggy's pants.
Right. Right. Well, actually, in my community, I asked them. I said, "What do you guys want to do for Shaggy Beyblade?" And one guy mentioned it, and let me take a look right here. One guy mentioned it and said, he was thinking, if I can find it, he was thinking Hover Wyvern as the top, Hover Wyvern with Green Wizard's 160, and then Thanos's brown point bit.
That could work.
Right? That was I was genuinely like, I thought that was awesome. So I'm
now, were you doing these thematic character based Beyblades back when you were doing burst content as well?
yes, I was actually.
Okay, because I'm looking at some of this and I have to figure burst might have been a little easier to do some of this stuff on because they were quite a bit more colorful.
A lot more
Right.
colorful.
They definitely had a lot better variety as far as that goes. Beyblade X has been really hard to do that with. So I have to get a little creative.
Hey, that just kind of sparks up your mind though. But when it comes
Right.
to the bit chips, do you put your own stickers on them, like just a Shaggy sticker or like a One Punch Man, or do you just kind of do the base stickers themselves?
I just leave them as is. I haven't really done any stickers. People have recommended that, but I guess you could say I'm a Bay purist. So I try to keep my Beyblades as clean as possible, but I have considered the idea.
Yeah, I think at
That makes sense.
least you got to get a Shaggy just for your own personal collection. And I don't know,
Right.
maybe get a Mr. Beast sticker and then put it on there as well, which would be
That would be so epic.
what bay would like obviously you put it on just for your favorite bay, but just in general, what would your favorite bay be
Impact.
and what sticker or what and yeah, what bay would that be that you put a Mr. Beast sticker on for your main bay?
Aero Pegasus.
Bro, that goes deep. That goes super deep. It's like you gotta figure like Aero Pegasus is not a cheap Beyblade. You can't just go to like Target and buy another one for $10. You know, like
I know, right?
And he's putting like a $5 sticker. It's like putting a bumper sticker on a Bugatti or whatever. It's shouldn't happen, but
imagine the aura you bring when you bring an Aero Pegasus that has a Mr. Beast sticker on it to a competition.
I mean that's totally fair.
That'd be awesome.
So speaking of competition, brother, what's the scene like in your area? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh boy. There's like nothing below Indianapolis, but like pretty much everything around Indianapolis and north of it is like some pretty good competitions. I've actually tried hosting some of my own Beyblade competitions here, and it's not really that big around here. Although in Florida, I recently was in Florida and I hosted some events down there, and I got some pretty good games down there. So yeah.
What area were you down in Florida in?
Northern Florida, an hour south of Tallahassee. So like sort of out in the boonies, but not.
So like where did you run the events at? Were they up in Tallahassee or did you go over to Jacksonville or what are we talking about?
No, I was actually in Perry, Florida. It's a small redneck town.
Nope.
We went
and they
to
let
like
you host a Beyblade tournament there. Wow.
That's
No,
great.
actually, there is no place to host a Beyblade tournament. I just went to a local park and invited like a whole bunch of neighborhood kids, and so we had a whole bunch of events there. So it wasn't like official. No.
That's cool
Okay.
though. That's neat. I like that.
Yeah. I wanted to keep the neighborhood kids busy because some of the kids, they just, sometimes there are kids that will get into things, and it's just, keeping the neighborhood busy and helping the parents out. That's one thing that was really good about that.
Yeah, that's very
Now,
cool
I
though.
assume you got to have family down there. Then I assume, yeah.
Yes, I do. I
That
was
makes
staying
a lot
with
of
them
sense.
for the past 4 months. So yeah.
Very cool. So, what kind of got you into the whole Beyblade scene?
Oh my goodness. That goes back. um, I don't remember exactly when it started, but I do remember various times throughout my life where I had friends, because I didn't have Beyblades as a super young, like during Metal Fight, but various times throughout my life I would see friends that had Beyblades, and then later on I eventually decided that I just wanted Beyblades, and so I had a birthday party, and my parents and some friends got me some Beyblades, and that's what started. Unfortunately, these Beyblades were fakes, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
And obviously,
it
that's
was like
one thing that
it
people
was like
really got to look out for is just those fake Beyblades, but people don't know how to properly look
right,
out for them, especially adults. Or like parents, because they don't know.
right. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's really hard. I mean,
Hmm.
coming into this, it's been really hard. It took me a long time to understand the difference between a fake and a real.
Hmm.
So
So,
now it's interesting. Now is this correct? I'm looking at your TikTok channel right now, and it looks like you have almost 400,000 views on a real versus fake Beyblade burst video. Is that correct?
yes, that is correct. That is currently my biggest video,
That's
and it's still
wild
going.
and still going, and that's burst.
My Yeah, exactly. Well, that was right when Beyblade X started coming out,
Okay.
and that was like towards the end of Beyblade Burst. So yeah, I managed to sneak in one of my Beyblade X bays in there. But yeah, so that is still the biggest thing. You said it was on TikTok, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, the whatever the screen for it says real and fake, and it looks like you have a
Yeah,
few different cases that are kind of sitting out that you're gonna probably show us if I were to click on it right now.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that was one of the couple videos ago because we are watching all of his videos live right now on the feed. So it just
Oh,
showed up.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I would love to see you kind of remake this, except for the Beyblade X series, because we definitely are still struggling a little bit with having kids show up with fake Beyblades from Amazon and such.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I think we just had two kids that actually were a part of a team. We had a team tournament this past weekend, and I think
it
two.
was the event before that, brother. The event
No,
before that.
no, and this one too.
oh,
Oh,
really?
wait,
Oh
really?
no.
Yeah. I think I overheard Weird Blader or somebody talking to him, and I think those kids that were part of the boys brought fake Beyblades as well.
Oh yeah, but they weren't trying to use them, so I assume Weird Blader must have sorted them out before the event even started. So
Yes,
good on him for taking care of business like that.
more ways than
I,
one
I could
though.
I couldn't believe they made it to final stage. I mean, they were like the number 2 seed coming out of Swiss. That was wild.
Yeah, and these kids were like, what were they? 8 and
Like
9,
They're
10,
goated, bro.
8 and 10 probably. I
eight
mean,
and
they were
10,
young.
and they took second place in a normal 3v3 team tournament, which was absolutely wild.
So I
That's
gotta correct
impressive.
you. I gotta correct you, Cake. They tied for third. They came
Okay.
out of Swiss in second place, and then they tied because we didn't play a third and fourth place match, so they lost in the semis, and then so but because we didn't play the third and fourth place match because there's no prizing for third and fourth place teams,
Yeah.
them and Metal Empire tied for third is how we wrote it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really, really good tournament. So if you guys have an opportunity to go to a team tournament, either if it's random or if you make your own team, either way, team tournaments are just a blast. Unless your teammate goes in the middle of a tournament and goes to a fucking booth and starts buying product like mine did.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I remember that.
Yeah, we're literally in the
I
middle of a
remember
game, and then
that.
he goes to a vendor just to go buy. It could have literally been anything. It could have been the Mighty set. It could have been a Shark Scale set.
Oh no.
But it was the
No.
Tackle Goat dual pack.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Literally,
I'm sorry.
It was fun.
That's
Tackle
funny.
Goat is awesome, but I mean, it's not that awesome.
it's not that. It's no. Like again, if it was like get that Mighty set, if it get a Shark Scale
Right.
set, so to kind of get us like better stuff for the team tournament, that's fine.
Right.
But no, he had to go get the dual pack of the Ram Goat and what was it, dagger,
Drawn sword.
sword.
Wrong
It
sword.
was
Oh,
drawn sword because I remember how much I disliked it when they brought it back. I was like, oh boy, they brought a reprint. Ugh.
oh, just like they're bringing back Metal Needle.
I know that Noah has an opinion on the Tackle Goat because that's actually the clip or whatever for one of his videos. I can see the Sword Dran and the Tackle Goat dual pack right in the center of the screen.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That
Yep,
was
that
fun.
was exactly. I will say it's a fun. This is how I say it. If you guys haven't seen the video, it's a fun deck to get, but it's terrible for tournaments. I mean, if you want to get it just because you said you collected it, go ahead and get it, but don't use it for tournaments.
Yeah, I don't even remember everything that it comes on.
It's Goat Tackle 270 Needle, right off the
That's
top of my
correct.
head, I think.
That's correct.
yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
Who needs that stuff? That is
Yeah, Sword Dran 360 flat, and then Tackle
Oh.
Goat 270 needle.
Good God.
Yeah, the only good part in that entire thing is the 360. Like that's it.
I mean, needle's
Right,
not awful,
exactly.
but yeah, mostly the 360 is the only good thing out of all of those. But
I have a question. So you know how they have different colors on the different packages and it doesn't match like the color of the actual part?
Right.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Well, I mentioned that in that video and I was surprised because the packaging made it look blue and the product was like white. And I was like, wait, what's going on?
interesting.
And this not only I have another video where I did this with was it Knife Shinobi? Have you seen that? Knife Shinobi is like completely different color from what it should be.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, so Nice Shinobi, that one is pretty like everyone I think kind of knows about that one.
Right.
So yeah, that one's pretty egregious for sure.
Oh, I think they used like an old rendering or something, and they just never changed it. The same way they do with was it the new CX for Drawn, blanking on his name, but yeah,
Drawn Brave?
yeah, Drawn Brave, yeah, or Courage Drawn, whichever one.
Yeah, I forget we have different names.
Yeah, Japanese or American. That's another thing with like talking to kids during tournaments is like I'll mention the Japanese name and they'll be like, "Oh no, it's Drawn Brave" or whatever the American name is, and I'm like, actually, I was correct because that's the Japanese version and there's an American version, so they just like changing the names, and they're like, "What?" They completely ignore it, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what is this? What is this dope looking? I don't know. I can't tell for sure because I'm just kind of watching the clip on rewind if it's Leon Crest or Leon Claw. But this really cool deck box you have.
Oh yeah, so that was kind of an experiment that turned into a really cool gift. I think that is Leon Crest. Yes,
that's
that's
Crest.
Leon Crest.
That's Crest.
And in that video, I had 3D. So a couple videos back, I had 3D printed that box, and then later on, I got myself some gnarly paint markers, and I started just experimenting. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna draw a lion on here, and I was like, I'm gonna draw a lion crest, and eventually that became a prize for the kids, and so I thought that was
that
really
was a
cool.
prize.
Yeah, well, it wasn't originally going to be, but
Honestly,
yeah.
it wasn't. Honestly, it wasn't until I actually like started staring at the video really closely that I could tell that you drew that. Like just glancing at it like a few times, I'm like, oh, that's like a really nice sticker, or he printed that design directly onto the box. That's crazy that you drew that. That looks really good.
Yeah, kudos to
Oh,
you for
thank you.
drawing.
Yeah, thank you. That was yeah. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I honestly I wish I could kind of draw like that or even at all. But yeah, good for you. So what kind of
Oh,
tournament did you give that away at, or was it just like a local thing, or was it that Florida event?
it was just the Florida event, just neighborhood kids. Like I said, nothing official. Um, I just the kids win a certain amount of points, and the whoever gets it gets it. Funny enough, the kid had that loved Leon Crest the most actually got that box.
Oh,
So I was like, oh, that's so cool.
yeah, you can't expect any less than that.
Right. I was so happy that he got that at that point.
I can also see here from your from some of your videos that you enjoy the same the same Beyblade holders that I do. You had printed them in yellow, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones I use at home.
Oh,
So that's
that's
pretty cool.
awesome. So do you have a 3D printer?
Yes, I do. I have the
Awesome.
P1S, the Bamboo Lab. I'm thinking about getting a P2S,
Oh,
but they're sold out locally at the Micro Center, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
right.
You guys have a Micro Center down in Indianapolis, right?
I haven't been to the Micro Center, but I am familiar with the P2S, and yeah, that thing looks crazy.
I'm gonna get
I,
one, but I might wait a little bit because they're kind of hard to get right now. So
right. Currently, I have the Bamboo Lab A1
okay, yep.
without the AMS. So that's why most of my stuff is single colored.
I'm the same way. I never invested into the AMS, but then the AMS 2 Pro came out, and the ability to keep the filament dry, like I'm gonna have to get one of those eventually. It's really cool.
Right, exactly.
But now we're
Yeah.
probably getting too nerdy for most of the audience talking
Yeah,
about 3D printing
probably.
stuff.
Oh,
Sorry,
well.
guys.
Now, Kate, go ahead and take it away with the next question, brother.
Just out of curiosity, do you want to expand into the whole Indianapolis or Beyblade scene to kind of make that grow, or are you just kind of content with like where it is over in your area?
As far as like holding events or going
Yeah,
to events,
holding events, holding like a local like weekly thing, or anything else like that, like some kind of get together.
And
right.
I guess real quick before you answer, this is probably important for viewers to know how far approximately are you from Indianapolis?
I'm about 3 to 4 hours
Oh, okay,
Wow.
nice.
Okay, so that's a hike.
south.
So that's a
Yeah.
hike. Okay, now continue with your answer.
Well, to continue the answer from that one, I'm about an hour north of the Indiana Kentucky border, so
Okay.
I'm pretty south. But to answer the other question, uh, I I'm not sure if I will really go to many Indianapolis tournaments because of how far it is.
Yeah, I thought you were
Um,
just closer, so that's why I was just saying Indy.
no, yeah, no, but I would like to create a bigger community down here in our area. I've tried advertising in certain ways, but they weren't good enough, and I think I found some other ways I can advertise even better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try those methods, like going through Facebook groups, and then also like on Discord. I found out that Indiana has their own Beyblade Discord, so I was like, oh, that's cool. Well, I might as well post something about maybe joining an event. You know?
Yeah. Sometimes events, like there's one day, there's one another day, or even there's like 2 back-to-back days. So maybe you can try to make something like that happen, so you can at least make that drive somewhat worth it.
Right. Exactly. Now the thing is, the thing is, like, you know, coming down here, you go to Walmart and you look at the Beyblades and you notice every now and then, because I go to Walmart every now and then, and I notice that there are Beyblades missing. That tells me that there are people here that are buying Beyblades, but I just don't know where they're at.
Right. Yeah. So
depending on if you still find half the package there, they could be stealing Beyblades too.
Right.
Oh my
exactly.
God, very true.
I've actually encountered that a couple of times already, and it's just like, oh, come on, guys.
Like, yeah, we've said once or twice in this podcast already, this is not an expensive hobby, but it can be pricey. But stealing even Beyblades is not really worth it at the end of the day. So just don't steal. We us here on the Spin Zone podcast do not condone any sort of stealing.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, back
now,
to the. No, keep going.
Oh, I was just gonna say, now when it comes to the Japanese Beyblades, it kind of gets a little bit more pricey there, of course, but you don't worry about stealing those in America.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think there's 2 different pricing tiers kind of to Beyblade, and I think if you just stick with Hasbro stuff, and like maybe you occasionally buy a TT thing like Clock Mirage, I think. Yeah, I think when Clock Mirage first came out, you could get like the pink one on Bays and Bricks for like $9.99, and then they realized they'd made a mistake and started bumping the price up. But
oh my goodness.
you know, I think like you definitely can play for cheap, and just playing with Hasbro parts. You know, you can have a Wizard Rod 160 Hexa, you can have a Hover Wyvern, you can bring a Phoenix, a Silver Wolf, whatever. There's some good options, but yeah, you definitely get into a different pricing tier when you start talking about Emperor Might deck sets, Shark Scale deck sets, Arrow Pegasus, Cobalt Drakes, things like that.
Well, hey, Vile.
We're definitely. Yeah.
Oh no, keep going on the little rant. I'll say something afterwards.
Oh, but yeah, just there's definitely different levels of fiscal engagement when it comes to Beyblade.
Well, and one way to get cheaper products is actually go to beybladepodcast.com. So, Chad
Fell asleep.
I was gonna say that.
Honestly, I think he did fall asleep.
He's muted. He's muted. So actually, we'll go ahead and do something different.
Yeah.
Noah, why don't you give your advertisement
Hey,
for
whoa. I just missed the mute button.
No, it's okay. Noah, yeah, go ahead and give your little shout out to your sponsors.
Yeah. So if you want to get, some nice Beyblades from Japan or America, you can head over to Mall of Toys and get your Beyblades for 5% off using my promo code Noiahplays. That is 5% off your next purchase. It's a one-time purchase using my code Noiahplays.
It is spelled NOIAHPLAYS.
Thank you for that. I should have said that.
It's okay. Well, and now, Chad, go ahead.
Yes, be sure to visit Bays and Bricks today and use code SPINZONE to save 7% off your order. That's SPINZONE at Bays and Bricks for 7% off your order. This coupon is usable twice per account.
That was crisp.
Yeah. Chad used to do some voice acting.
That explains some things now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know how to do it. I've been doing it for a while now.
Psychopom in chat says Chad left to go buy some Beyblades. I'm dead.
I mean, I wish I could have. I'm just at home. I had to check on my dog and see how he's doing.
That's the problem, Cake. Everyone affiliated with you has to leave in the middle of important moments to go buy Beyblades. First, it was your teammate this past weekend. Now, Chad during the podcast. It's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
Man,
you
I
can
wish I
literally.
could be buying Beyblades right now. You kidding me?
What are you talking about? You can literally go on to Ball of Toys and use my code right now to get 5% off some Beyblades.
Hey.
Hey,
I could
It's
also
right there.
visit Bays and Bricks and use code SPINZone to get 7% off of my order.
See, my
Double
problem
the promos.
my problem here is I have a great topic and I now want to ask Noah about, but I'm not sure if he'd feel bad talking about it.
Oh boy.
Well, only know until you ask.
That's very
Okay,
true.
that's fair.
ask.
Let me. I'll ask you if you heard about it, and then you can kind of see how you feel about it from there. Did you hear recently about Mall of Toys and the $20,000 extra product debacle?
No, I didn't. That's
So,
interesting.
yeah. So, long story short, I'll keep it very brief. When it came to the Emperor Might and Wolf Hunt releases, there was a
Mhm.
problem with Mall of Toys' labeling system, I guess. Like they were spitting out extra labels, and I think they sent out about 400 duplicate orders, which totaled to about $20,000 in product that was erroneously sent out to people.
Oh my god.
So basically, they said they had more than they did.
Well, basically what happened was like they were printing duplicate orders, so people were getting like if someone ordered like an Emperor Might deck set and a Wolf Hunt, they were instead getting 2 packages, so they were getting double their order essentially.
Oh my goodness! I wish I had bought some at the time.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
And this was pretty widespread. Mall of Toys even made an announcement, so this isn't like some secret or whatever. They
Wow.
publicly announced this on their social media.
Wow. I
And
must have
yeah,
not
I
paid
mean,
attention at the time.
yeah, several players in our Discord definitely received double their order and stuff. So that's been kind of a sticky situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
very true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, it's tough.
Exactly.
It's
You keep
tough.
the extras,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
give them
Exactly.
for free to people who want them.
Hey.
I was just curious if you'd heard about it because that was like a pretty major thing that was being talked about over the past couple of weeks. So
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, I didn't hear anything about that. I was in my own world, I guess.
now did you buy some of these new releases? Do you have an Emperor Might deck set and a Wolf Hunt and all that
No, I
kind of
do
stuff?
not. No, I don't have too many. I don't think I've been trying to catch up, so I'm actually quite a bit behind. But I was actually before the podcast, I was getting ready to press the button on buying the new holiday pack that they have for the new Dragoon and the Mummy.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be cool. That Meteor Dragoon looks really pretty cool.
Right? I want to see that thing go up against Impact Drake. And so just
Oh,
two
God.
rubber Beyblades, opposite spin.
That would be an interesting match. Now, what's your opinion? So my favorite thing about Meteor Dragoon, right, is not that it's a left spin bay, really. Like I know that's exciting and that is cool, but my favorite part is because it's a starter, it's gonna be the first time that a lot of players here in the West have a left winder launcher in their possession, which I think is really a neat thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's right, and the was it the string launcher? Yeah, everybody will have the winder now, not the string launcher. That yeah, definitely. That would be awesome. Um I never really thought of it like that. I just enjoyed the fact that it was an homage to the original Medio El Drago.
And I agree with you. I think the design is beautiful. I love it. Looks kind of like a white metal coat it has to it. I mean,
Right.
they look super clean.
Oh yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Longness as well.
And then obviously being a left spinning bay that hopefully is competitive will give people another option besides just spamming Cobalt Dragoon. But I do think that a lot of players that have not dedicated themselves to the string launcher struggle with the string launcher. So I think for a lot of people who would maybe like to play Cobalt Dragoon a little more, they haven't because they're just used to the winder launcher. And if that's what you prefer when you're launching literally every other bay in your collection, learning the string launcher for one bay for a lot of people probably doesn't seem like a whole lot of fun. But again, now everyone who buys this is going to have a left winder launcher, and I think that really changes the game for a lot of players.
Oh, it definitely is. Like I love my left winder launcher, and I don't think I'll ever go back to a string left.
I'm in agreement.
I would just buy the left spinning launcher, the winder, because it's just so much better.
Yeah,
it absolutely is, in my opinion. I think for a lot of Americans, it's about accessibility, right? I have a couple left winder launchers only because I buy collections directly from Japan. But also, I happen to be in Noah's favorite place, Florida, and I walked into a store down in, I think it was Boca Raton or something, and they just had a left winder launcher, brand new, on the shelf for $9.99. And I'm like, damn, that's even cheaper than online. Like, how can I not buy it? It's right in front. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, right.
But most people who don't have access to local stores that stock Takara Tomy product, they don't have that opportunity. And then to like go on to a website and like, oh, now I have to spend $15 or $20 on just a launcher. Like, that's not a good feeling, you know? So I think that this launcher coming in the start is going to be great for players here in the West, especially who haven't been able to get one yet.
Yeah, that's definitely going to step up a level or two on the American side of things, especially with the people that don't have that good of access to Japanese Beyblades.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, tell us your thoughts on that Mummy booster, because we actually haven't talked about Meteor Dragoon or the Mummy booster in the last couple episodes like we probably should have. What are your thoughts on the Mummy random booster, both the Mummy itself and the other potential blades that you can get?
Right. I don't understand its gimmick really. But I think it looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of Menoboros from Beyblade Burst.
Okay.
If you guys remember Menoboros.
No.
You don't remember Menoboros? He was like towards the beginning of Burst. It wasn't really a big Beyblade going on, but I
wasn't playing Burst.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
I see.
I think Chad, or you, Martine, did you play Burst?
No.
I think Chad is the only person who was involved in Beyblade on this podcast during Burst.
Wow.
We all
would
got
you
into
like
Beyblade.
to take that back for 500, sir? I was Metal Fight. I was never Burst.
Okay, but you were aware of Beyblades during Burst. Like, I don't think the rest of us even knew what Beyblades were during Burst.
I didn't. Yeah,
I
didn't
was
even know
aware that
Beyblades
Burst existed.
Wow. Yeah. But to go on to the other Beyblades, I think Pegasus, the new Pegasus Beyblade, I can't remember the blade's name. That looks epic. I haven't looked at any of the parts. I haven't really looked too closely at the set too much, but I do like what I see on the surface as far as Wise Tiger, Pegasus, and the new Soul Eclipse Brave Beyblade. Those look epic. I'm not so sure about Drawn Dagger, but I love Drawn Dagger's color, so I would take it. Because I like making themed Beyblades.
I mean, so that Weiss Tiger, first off, I know Weiss Tiger isn't a competitive blade really, but like the red Weiss Tiger looks incredible.
Oh yeah.
And obviously the best part of that for the majority of players is going to be the access to the red low rush. That's oh my god, that's going to be sick.
Yeah, that color really does look immaculate.
And as to the Mummy's gimmick, the Mummy's the one that comes on the simple ratchet, right?
The simple ratchet?
I thought so.
Yeah, some people will call it the 5 series.
Okay.
But yeah, so my when you said I don't know what the Mummy's gimmick was, my comment was going to be it's to give Clock Mirage another ratchet option.
I mean, it does.
So yeah, that set does look really cool. And you said you're probably gonna go buy it. Now, are you gonna buy just like one random booster, or are you gonna buy the full set of 6?
Oh, I'm getting the full set. I'm not
That's
skipping out
what's
on
up.
that. I hate having to find the pieces and the parts later on when they're like half of the stuff is already sold out and stuff like that, or the stuff is like double or triple the price it should be. It's like,
That's
come on.
That's 100% how it works. It was not at all a big deal to get a green ghost circle when it first came out. In fact, that was not the prize one, so no one cared about it. But then the prize one's already been released here in the US, and it's getting released again in the night mail. So no one cares about that one anymore.
Right.
But the one with the green hexa, that's going for $65 all over the place right now.
That's
And
just crazy.
it definitely was not going for $65 when it came out. So you have a very good point. Like, if you want that red low rush, guys, you have to get it now. If you wait, it's going to become harder to find, and you're going to pay out the nose for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of I don't know if anybody remembers this, but during the burst, and I'm going to mention this a lot because I that was when I was playing there was a Beyblade called Achilles towards the end of Beyblade Burst, and that Beyblade is like worth, or was at the time worth, over $200 after it released, and just to get that one single, and it was like, oh my goodness, there's no way, and it was in a random booster set, so it was like there was no way of getting it.
So it's interesting you brought that up, because I did mention earlier about how you definitely started creating content for Beyblade back in the Burst era. And I kind of have noticed this about some of your videos, but I think this applies to pretty much every Baytuber out there. Why is it that you think that even though X definitely seems to have taken center stage when it comes to tournament play and events, why was Burst so much more popular for content creators? Why do Burst videos have so many more views than the typical X video, do you think?
Ooh, that's hard to say. I don't know why exactly. I could pose some theories, as
Video
Beyblade
idea.
Burst had a really good, not dogging on any of the other animes, but Beyblade Burst had a new fresh idea and a new fresh anime. Another thing is Beyblade Burst had, just like Metal Fight, had some insane customizability.
Mhm.
The characters were great. Beyblades and the characters from the show. Some other reasons, I don't know. I honestly don't know why it got so popular. I think maybe it was just another generation of kids that kind of just joined into the whole generation there. So
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I don't know.
That
I don't know
definitely has
exactly.
no, I was just
that
curious to
definitely
hear.
has a part to do with it, but I'll tell you this right now, as someone who's been in the Beyblade scene for as long as I have. The
Hmm.
thing that really sold people on Burst was the namesake, the base Burst. Because in the
Right.
plastic gen or the metal fight gem, if your Beyblade bursted like it did in the anime, your Beyblade was broken. And you would have to go and spend money on a brand new one. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
this one, Burst, had the gimmick of, the burst ability for Beyblades. And what that really did was increase the survivability of the bays versus like Metal Fight, or especially the plastic gen, where I think
Hmm.
I forget the name of the Beyblade. There's a brown Beyblade in plastic gen that just putting it together can cause the Beyblade to break.
Oh,
Putting it
that's so
together.
So hold on, you're
And
saying it's called Clock Mirage Senior?
what?
bad.
Well, there's a lot of argument out there right now, Chad. I don't know if you've heard this or not, that every time you reattach a ratchet to Clock Mirage, it wears away at the ratchet holding area.
Oh, wow.
Now, I
Interesting.
don't know how true that is. I just heard a
That's
lot of
funny.
debate about it, and I'm not going to sit there and try to screw up my Clock Mirage testing it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't have the big sponsor bucks like that. So, I just have to let other people do that kind of testing. Um,
Right.
So
Up to interpretation, if nothing else.
based on what you said, Noah, I think that Beyblade X is much better like situated for competitive and tournament play, and I think that's super cool. I do think that the designs of Burst and the colorfulness of it and the fact that bursting was a brand new gimmick at the time, I do think that really spoke to a lot of children, which, you know, we all know how kids are. You know, you're 7 to 12 years old. When you have free time, all you're doing is sitting on your dad's tablet or your mom's phone or whatever, and you're browsing YouTube, you know?
Good old times.
So it's very interesting. I definitely think Burst, the Beyblades looked more unique and interesting than they do in X. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I was actually going to mention that they had so much, like the colors and the shapes were so much more extra. It was like, oh, it was so awesome. And that you could expound on that so much. Let's see here. I think yeah, where Metal Fight had a lot of good colors, and you know, it had its stickers and stuff like that, but it wasn't till Burst that they started getting like really artistic. And then Beyblade X kind of brought both worlds together and kind of did their own version of it, but brought back like all the metal and made it more nostalgic. And then, like you said, it's really great for competitions. They've really built it for doing competitions and rules and just making it an official sport.
That's the dream, right? The dream is that someday I want to go to a world's level event and people aren't going to be on the floor on their Beyblade branded knee pad relaxer thing. And they're going to play in stadium stands. And I just think there is a future for Beyblade X if it's marketed right, and Hasbro could do a little bit better. Okay. Where it could be seen in the same light as people look at, you know, Magic the Gathering or Pokemon TCG or Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that, you know? You know, let me ask you this. How do you feel about Hasbro's advertising? Have you seen that new commercial that they put out recently?
No.
Exactly.
Which probably means it's pretty bad.
So to give you a brief synopsis, and to all the viewers out there, they have like this 6'10" NBA player, okay, this professional basketball player, and he is sitting in a desk chair, you know, like a Secret Labs or whatever similar type of chair, and he is launching into a drop attack stadium, okay, of all stadiums, that is sitting on the floor. So he's launching just from his desk chair. He is a 6'10" guy using a proto launcher. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You can imagine the size of a 6'10" NBA player's hands holding a proto launcher and sitting up in a chair, ripping onto a stadium on the floor. It is just the worst display of like what actually happens at a Beyblade event I've ever seen. Like, it is so far from that. Like,
oh my goodness. I know we have the set for the better launcher. Why didn't they use that? Even though the proto launcher was a part of the set, they didn't have to use the proto launcher for him. I think that was a bad move on their part, because that just made him look bigger.
Well, they probably just want to advertise of everything that the set comes with.
You're right. Well, you're right.
To be fair, I think, listen, I understand the standard, like, you know, $10 starters at Target and whatever having the proto launcher. I think Hasbro does themselves a major disservice by not having some sets, at least, that do cost a little more and come with a regular winder launcher. I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot on that.
Yeah, like Meteor's doing with that left winder launcher. I can't think of any. Yeah, especially any Hasbro besides the couple like string launchers. I can't think of any other, at least any product that comes with a winder launcher.
No, there is not in Hasbro.
There is none. Everything comes with a proto. You have to get the winder as almost like a premium by itself.
And the other problem,
like $10 or something, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is now. I think it is after the price increases.
It depends on where you get it from, because I've looked on Amazon, and depending on the time you get it, it was like $15 at one point, I think.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
To me, it's totally crazy, because that's the other problem is, regardless of the price, and I think almost everyone can agree with this, you can't walk into a Target, a Walmart, or a GameStop today and buy a winder launcher. I think
No, you can't.
Target was like the only place that actually stocked it, and I think they mostly don't anymore. So,
Right.
like, where do American players even get a winder launcher? It's either Amazon or nowhere, or I guess
Or you
ordering
gotta
Japanese
go.
products.
Or you gotta go to a Walmart that's like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm looking at Amazon right now, and they have actually both the left and the right launchers for like $12 each.
It's still a
Is
lot.
that's the Japanese ones, right? That's Takara
The winder that's a right is Hasbro,
Okay.
but the
yeah.
left is TT.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Like-
$12 for a left winder right now isn't actually terrible
No.
in comparison to
Right.
the market over here. But for a right one, that's way too expensive. Like
Yeah,
for a
Right.
Hasbro product.
That's like $5 more than what you should actually be paying,
I
Exactly
agree.
like
at least.
exactly like Vile was saying. Why I just thought about this. Like, why, instead of pushing your winder launcher in the first wave, why not push winders throughout the multiple waves so people can keep buying it,
I mean, a great example is, we all know how Hasbro totally screwed the pooch with the upcoming American adaptation of the Nightmail set. You've seen that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ghost Circle and
Yeah, like anyone was asking for
one.
another printing of Ghost Circle, right?
Like, why?
With that being said, because they did leave the red metal coat Tyranno beat out, and Tyranno beat is still a fairly competitive bay and hugely popular, which is very important.
Yeah.
I think putting the red metal coat Tyranno beat in a package with a right winder launcher and charging a similar price as you would to like the Phoenix or the Cobalt Dragoon packs with the string launchers, I think that would be a sick opportunity for Hasbro to make some money, get that red metal coat Tyranno beat out there, which everybody wants, and
Right.
also to put the right winder launchers into the hands of more casual players.
That would get bought out faster than Whale Wave did.
I think so. I just had a client message me today asking me for a red metal coat Tyranno beat, so I know players over here want them. So I don't know. I think missed opportunities from Hasbro is, I think, how we can sum up that section. Yeah, like
Right. Hasbro. They need to do some better on their promotions and stuff like that, or not promotions, but their advertisement. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. They're not taking advice from actual players or anything else like that. They're getting advice from people that probably have never even shot a Beyblade before ever, or even
Right.
know
AKA hosting at Walmart.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
the
hosted at
overarching.
Walmart. And
Yeah, no. The overarching problem here is, I think that Hasbro, and this is wild because you guys have to remember, Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast, which owns Magic the Gathering. So they should have some sort of idea how to turn a kind of a fun game into more of a serious competitive type of thing. But they just don't. Hasbro seems to view Beyblades as children's toys only and doesn't seem to see a future for it where adults play with these, and kids too, everyone plays with these things competitively at sanctioned events. They don't seem to be drawing that correlation whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if they put Beyblade onto the Wizards Play Network, and all of a sudden every store that runs Magic the Gathering could also easily run Beyblade events?
Oh, that would be so awesome.
Probably not, obviously not at the same time, but yes.
Well, no, not at the same time, but then Noah could go to his local game store 15 minutes away instead of driving 3 or 4 hours to Indianapolis to have to find an event.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
That's crazy.
I would love to go to my local game stores or whatever, and just, oh man, rip it out with a whole bunch of guys there. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, 100%. But again, they're taking ideas from people that have never even played this game before. It's just like management of your job that you're working at. We're taking orders from people that have never even done our specific job that we're doing right now, but it is what it is. Anyway,
It's terrible. Now, Cake, I'm gonna let you ask some questions because I know you had a long list of questions, and I kind of hijacked things for a while. So
no, buddy, you're good. This is our podcast, man. So don't worry one bit about it. But Noah, what kind of tips would you give to a new Beyblader besides do not buy Rhino Horn, because we already had that as an answer?
Let's see here. Look for anything Soar Phoenix, especially the red one because it comes with a string launcher. Buy stuff off of Mall of Toys and Bays and Bricks because that's where you're going to get your most consistent Beyblades, whether it's Hasbro or TT.
So tournament legal.
Yep.
Yes, tournament legal. Yes. Try to find Tyranno B and Whale Wave. And when you put the Beyblade on, don't push it against the gears, please.
Oh gosh.
I know too many kids that do that, and their launchers are like little fidget spinners now.
Oh my god.
Not good.
They're close enough to be considered a rusty fidget spinner.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's good advice, though. Like it is.
No, that's a
Right.
solid piece of advice for sure.
Right. And yeah, so that's pretty much the basics. And I guess get stuff on Bays and Bricks, Mall of Toys. Buy yourself a set. Spend the extra money to buy yourself a stadium because that is worth it. It's okay to battle it in a box. It's okay to battle it in a bowl as long as it's not glass.
Imagine
Definitely
launching a metal
not
needle in a
glass.
glass bowl.
Oh
Wow.
no!
I can imagine my mom would have grounded me. I can imagine that.
Well, that's all she would have done.
Yeah. My mom didn't whip my ass, fortunately. So.
Oh no, my brother and I had specific fly swatters with our names on them.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
They have the tape and it says your name, and you just whenever they bring it, you look at the tape and make sure it's not your name and it's your brother.
Very true.
Anyway, but yeah, and yeah, so I think that's about it, pretty much there.
Yeah, so just make sure that it's Hasbro or TT.
Yes.
Try to avoid Amazon unless it's from the actual TT store or the actual Hasbro store. Yep.
Yeah, that's another.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Another thing is avoid eBay, Facebook, and Amazon unless you know exactly what you are doing, because it's harder to figure out what is what. I have a hard time finding out what's what on those apps too. So
yeah, and don't buy the $20 8-pack from Amazon. That is fake. Like 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the one with the little box with it, the storage box.
Yeah,
Gyro.
the fake Cobalt, the fake Cobalt Drake. Yeah, Top Gyro X or whatever nonsense they call it.
Unless you want a really good box, but
yeah, I suppose
paying $20 just for a little toolbox, not really worth it. But either way,
those things fall apart faster than the Lego Death Star falling down a staircase.
Oh my God, I'm done.
Oh, I just hear all the
right.
Oh no.
So Noah, if you could have received one tip when you first started Beyblade, what would you wish it have been?
Buy off of Bays and Bricks. Yep.
No,
that's the best place because they tell you what is Hasbro and what is TT, and they tell you what's unbranded as well.
Oh.
That's true.
That
They
is
do
very
do that.
Oh.
It is like the quintessential best immaculate place to buy your Beyblades. As far as prices go, it's but they have really they keep up really well, and you hardly ever get scammed. I've heard some stories, but those are like, it's really rare to get an accidental scam.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say,
If
the only time
any.
I've ever been quote unquote scammed by Bays and Bricks, it's because my dumbass didn't realize that, hey, these tips that are all metal are probably not real.
Oh.
Unlucky.
That was my first Beyblade purchase in like after I gave up Beyblade for like many, many years. So it was like, oh, good to know for
Oh,
next time.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Only
So,
metal needles.
Noah, what do you think is your favorite Beyblade of all time? And this could be an X, this could be a burst, a metal fight. What's your favorite Beyblade ever?
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I'll say one for each generation.
Okay, that's fair.
Interesting.
So I have one for metal. It's really hard because I like some of the Beyblades, but I think it was Quetzalcoatl
That's
for
fair.
metal, because
That
there
is
was a trend going on where you could take the rubber piece off and then you could launch it in the Beyblade, and it was like a mega flat.
Yep.
And it just spun around the stadium. And I remember joining into that trend. I actually did some videos with some TikToker Beybladers, and that was pretty cool. So for Beyblade Burst, it would either contend between Achilles, Spriggan, Spriggan, that's the Japanese name, or
Yep.
Valkyrie. Any of those lines. Achilles was probably my top right there. And then my favorite in Beyblade X currently, I'm looking at them right now. I'm still on the bend, but it would either be Silver Wolf, Hover Wyvern, or Tyranno Beat.
Based.
Okay. Those are all very good answers, I feel like. Now, you mentioned earlier hosting some kind of impromptu, kind of local fun tournaments for neighborhood kids and stuff. Have you ever gone to a WBO sanctioned event?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
No, I have not. I wish, but like I said, it's very quiet down in the South, and I'd like to start something like that. But because of how quiet it is, I haven't been to one yet. So,
and that's totally fair. Let me ask you this. This isn't a question that Cake had written up for us, but I'm really curious because I don't know if we've asked any of our guests yet this question. How large is your Beyblade collection? How many generations does it span? How many blades do you own? Things like that.
Currently I have probably, well, that's not counting the fakes. Yeah.
Don't
earlier
count
on in
don't
the
count those.
yeah, I'm not going to count those.
No.
I have about 3 or 4 metal fight, and they're about mid fakes or real. I still can't tell. Burst. If you've ever seen those like toolbox things that stack on top of each other,
Yes.
I'm actually going to count it out right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes of Burst.
Damn.
Holy crap. So how if you had to just guesstimate, just a real quick
Hasbro and
guesstimate.
Cartomi.
So a real quick guesstimate, how many Beyblades do you think that is? You don't have to count, just take a guess.
Probably easily 100.
Oh, okay, so that's a pretty extensive collection then.
Yeah. And then for Metal Fight, I've probably got about, actually last time I counted, so we've probably got about 90 bays for Beyblade X.
Okay, It's 90 for X, a few for Metal Fight, and a ton for Burst. Now,
Yeah.
what would let's I'm going to ask you about X specifically here because I think that's what most of our listeners are tuned into.
Right.
What is the prize of your X collection? Is it what I think it is?
Arrow
The
with
one I
Mr.
mentioned
Beast,
earlier.
Arrow Beast with a Mr. Beast sticker on it.
Yeah, it's Arrow Pegasus.
That's kind of what I suspected, but I was curious because everyone's got a different opinion, you know?
Right.
Love that.
I still haven't battled it. I'm on the bend because when I mentioned earlier that some people would, suggest their combinations and I would do it for them. Well, there was one person that suggested doing Arrow Pegasus, and I am fighting myself. I am struggling to I don't want to mess up that paint job, especially for how much I paid for it.
Fair enough.
That's totally fair. So you wound up not spinning it?
I've spun it, but I haven't battled it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So it's been used. It's just not been used,
Battled.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's been used, but just hasn't been battled.
Right.
So Noah, as I scrolled back through your TikTok earlier, I noticed that some of your oldest videos didn't appear to be Beyblade related. It looked like they were Nerf gun related. Is that correct?
Actually, if I'm thinking about that correctly, I think what you're looking at was me trying to create a character for myself, and so I just involved a lot of Nerf guns in it.
That's
And
fair.
yeah, I would play. I was supposed to be like a super American macho guy with Nerf guns who liked guns, and I would play these sounds. Like one of them was based off of Ice Age, where Buck was talking to himself on the phone.
Oh my god.
and you see it on the photo there. It's me talking to a gun.
That's crazy.
And then there was another one that was based on Rekid, where I think it was Rekid, where he goes brrrah, brrrah, and they just start laughing.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyways,
Oh gosh.
That's wonderful. So what made you then kind of decide like, hey, I want to create content for Beyblade? What was your like deciding factor for that?
man, let's see here. I'm trying to think. I think what happened was I was trying to figure out something that I really liked, and I was really getting into Beyblades. And so I had started a pretty good collection. I just wanted to start it out for a couple months and see how it went. And I liked Beyblades so much to the point where I just kept going and going. And then sometimes my friend would help me. And so in a lot of my older videos on YouTube, he would be the one holding the camera while I was the one behind the table.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would do that for a while. And so it was kind of just like trying to get rich on YouTube, even though you can't with Beyblades really, because it's like the opposite. But it's sad but true. The reality of the story is that you can't get rich on Beyblades unless you're Beyblade geeks.
And I mean that's totally fair. That's totally fair. So then what was like what I guess I'll ask this because this is something I'm always curious about because this comes up a lot. Now you said you're kind of isolated from the larger Beyblade X scene in your state. Do you ever get a chance to play Beyblades with any of your like local friends? Is there anyone at all in your area who's playing?
Nope. I am like the only one in my okay, well, I shouldn't say that straight off. There are some kids that get into it every now and then, or when they come over to my house, they're like, "Oh, you have Beyblades? That's so cool!" Or when I bring it to an event that I am having, that they'll join in every now and then. But other than that, like I'm the only one in my entire friend group that actually purely enjoys Beyblades. So
Okay, so you don't, yeah, so you don't
it's
have
not
like a
in,
group of, you don't have a
that's
group of
not,
guys you get together with and play regular.
no,
That's
unfortunately not. That used
that
to be
just
my friend that would hold the camera. That used to be him, but he was interested in some other things, and I mean that's understandable. So
yes, fair. That's actually like I found that's actually a plight for a lot of bladers is that they don't like even people here in our area where there is like a tournament scene and there are people like they're like, yeah, outside of when I come to events, I don't get to play at all. Like I don't
right,
have any personal friends who play. Like the people in the cities who like do play, they don't live very close to me, or I'm not like tight with them like that. So it's really interesting how many people have these huge extensive collections of Beyblades, and they essentially blade with themselves. You know, like
hmm
it's actually kind of tragic. Like to be totally frank.
Yeah.
it really is, and it kind of shows you how small, how big Beyblade is in certain areas, and how small it is in others. And that's where I love what the Beyblade community has done with 3D printing. And you'll notice it in a lot of my videos that I 3D printed some connection pieces for my launchers so that I can equally spin my Beyblades at the same time and attack at the same time. That was something that started in the burst era and just transferred over with 3D printing in the Beyblade X era.
Yeah, that's those types of peripherals are actually incredible. And to your point, we actually had a local guy who just came out to his first event a few weeks back, and he was playing pretty decent. I think he went like 3-3, which is pretty good for your
Wow.
first tournament. And I'd asked him, I'm like, so do you play at home a lot with your friends or like whatever? And he's like, this is the first time I've ever launched a Beyblade against another real person before.
Wow.
And all he had ever done was testing at home by himself, probably like what you just mentioned with those 3D printed attachments to be able to launch multiple
hmm
blades at once. Um, and then kind of the feel good parts of the story, he then came to an event the next weekend and took third place. So that was pretty cool. he's he's actually a really solid player, and you can tell that he watches
Nice.
videos on launch techniques and things like that. He's not, when he rips it by himself at home, he definitely understands what he's doing. He's paying attention to the
Right.
YouTubers and all that, and what all their advice and tips and whatnot. So that was kind of a neat thing. Um, so, Cake had told us to ask you about your local scene, but we've kind of already touched on that several times, about how there just really isn't one for you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Beyblade X, okay? What is if you're going to a Beyblade X event, which I know you haven't yet, but if you were, what three Beyblades are in your deck?
Ooh. Oh boy. Let's see here. I actually had a whole video on this too. My top 5 Beyblades I'd use in a tournament.
I
But for
did
some
see that
reason
on your
now I'm forgetting it.
I
No,
did
no
see that on
worries.
your TikTok.
Well, as far as combos, I can't name them exactly off the top of my head. I might actually. Yeah, let's try it.
You got
So,
it.
uh, Phoenix Wing, 160 Rush,
That's solid. I love
Okay.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Hover Wyvern. Uh, actually, oh, I didn't have Hover Wyvern at the time, but I would put him in there if I had a combination for him.
Yep.
But so Phoenix Wing, Silver Wolf, 770 Low Orb,
Okay.
and then Wizard Rod, 360 Orb.
Okay. That's
So
kind of the blades I expected, but outside of Phoenix, not necessarily the combos I expected to hear.
Right.
really,
Yeah, right now in the tournament scene, the Wizard Rod build that is pretty much exclusively used outside of a couple people who like to kind of, beat to their own drum type of thing is
hmm
definitely 160 Hexa is the current Wizard Rod meta. Um, you know,
interesting.
have you gotten I forget what you'd call it, the Hell's Reaper CX? Have you gotten one of those yet?
Yes, I have. Actually,
So
that does remind me. There is a combo that I use that with that I would have put in there, but
So
Anyways,
that's not the reason I'm asking you. The reason I'm asking you is
okay.
if you bought one of those and you have Hover Wyvern, give Hover Wyvern 960 Kick a try. That one's a lot of fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I've seen some people on my channel recommend that, and I tried it the other day, and my goodness, that is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I ran it during first stage of this team event this past weekend. Not the whole first stage because there was like 9 matches, but a lot of it. That thing did one of two things. It either extremed the shit out of my opponent or it extremed the shit out of myself. So it's
It's
very
true.
volatile like that.
It's
It,
very
And
it
when it
true.
comes
basically
off,
kicked yourself out of the game there.
yeah, when it comes off the rail, it definitely self KOs a fair amount. But if you hit their Beyblade, like their Beyblade's going into a pocket or out the extreme. Like that's just what happens. It's really cool. Um,
It's the power of the Pringle.
there you go. Now I should
There you
ask
go,
you this
Chad.
because you did mention this earlier, but this is something else that I find is very prevalent in the Beyblade community still. When you're practicing at home, do you practice on a Hasbro stadium or do you practice on the TT stadium?
Oh.
TT. Take care.
Okay.
Tell me.
I kind of
Is it?
assumed if you had an
Yeah.
Aero Pegasus, you probably had a TT stadium, but um, even still with the release of the TT stadium on the Hasbro Amazon page, we still have a lot of bladers in our local community that don't have a TT stadium. That's still fairly common, I would say.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true.
It's just it makes sense because it's really hard to get a stadium. I mean, you don't want to spend $50 on just a stadium or $120 on an entire starter entry set. I only have one entry set. The TT stadium I have right now is the only one I've had for this entire uh, generation. I haven't gotten another entry set since then, and I really want to, but
Well, the tough part is that the entry sets are actually very affordably priced if you live in the regions that they sell them in. The problem here in
exactly.
America is the shipping. Shipping a big box like that over here is killer, especially with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of national postal services like Japan Post doesn't ship to America right now because of the tariff situation.
Right.
Um, so that inflames that whole situation even more because then you have to use a private courier, FedEx, DHL, UPS, and they know that, so they've all jacked their prices into oblivion. So it's really
Right.
tough right now. You pretty much buy the one for $50 on Amazon, or you don't have one. It's kind of
Exactly.
and again, $50 for a cheap piece of plastic and no Beyblades with it is kind of a tough proposition for most people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. The goal for me was when Beyblade X came out was I was going to try to get everything bought out in the lineup, and then somewhere along the line I stopped buying Beyblades,
Oh
and so
no!
I kind of got behind.
Oh
but
no!
but I bought the first 4 to 6. No, I bought the first 4 Beyblades and then the entry set, and then that entry set has served me since.
So which entry set is it? What color are the rails on your stadium?
Black. It's the
Is it the clear stadium with the black rails, or is it the white
yeah,
stadium with the black rails?
it's the clear one. It's BX7.
Okay, that's a beautiful one. I actually have that stadium. That is my favorite stadium.
The unfortunate thing though is when I was in Florida, I noticed that I had a crack in the side of one of my pockets, and I was like,
Oh
"Oh
no.
no, not my stadium!"
That is when so that is when I don't throw them away when that happens. What I do is I use them for practice because the
Right.
WBO won't allow those to be used for tournaments anymore. So when that happens, I just put it aside. It's my new practice stadium. That way I'm not banging up my nice stadiums for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
I see. Okay, so now I just learned something about tournaments. I'll have to use that later.
If we actually had a situation the other week with Chad had just got a brand new stadium
Oh,
at like
Oh yeah.
$40 from one of our local players who's a real nice guy, Wayward. And it was brand new, had never been removed from the bag, Chad was so excited. It was his first ever TT stadium. and he's like, "Oh yeah, we can use it for the tournament." And then partway through the tournament, a bay flies up into the shroud and breaks the part of the plastic off the shroud. And then
No.
a little bit later, and then like we actually have a WBO rep up here, like somebody who works in the WBO
Oh, that's
plays up here.
fun.
So he came over and said, "Well, that's fine. The shroud isn't like a legal play area. It doesn't affect any like you can continue to use that." So we did, and then a Beyblade came ripping around the extreme rail and broke off one of the teeth.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it wasn't that bad. Like, um, to put it in a way that'll make sense, if you look at your pinky and imagine that's the rail, like like the first part right before the knuckle is what came off. So like it was just a tiny portion of the tooth.
Yeah, you
Okay.
could see it though. I mean, we found the piece. It was sitting in the state. Like it was just the point wasn't, Chad, to over exaggerate what happened. The point was like it was a sad day for you to bring out your brand new stadium and it
Yeah.
just gets beat up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, fair, but at the same time, like the way we think about it is two separate things. And what I'm trying to say is a lot of you guys were like, "Oh shoot, man, that's so bad. I feel so sorry." And to me, I'm like, I just got free war damage to my thing. Now it looks even cooler.
Wow.
Oh my
Like
god.
I think
I
of it as like
remember
scars of victory.
I
That's
remember
wild.
watching TikTok videos where they were saying like if you play Beyblade and your stadium doesn't like look like this and it's got like all these color marks and it's just scratches all across the stadium and
Exactly.
it looks milky, it's like you're not a real Beyblader. And it's just like that is so true.
Yeah, is he
All my
wrong?
Beyblade stadiums have those marks.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, my
I
TT
agree.
one is all messed up. Ever since getting my TT, I just kind of put my Hasbro off to the side, just like everyone should. But I absolutely
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm gonna ask one quick fire question here, and I'm gonna see if Cake has any questions that I've missed while I've been perusing the list here. If you were stranded on a desert island, okay, you were stranded on Beyblade Island, and you could only have
Oh,
one string or winder launcher. Which one is it?
string or winder? Ooh, that's really hard to say because they both have their downsides when it comes to longevity. You have to be careful
Mhm.
with them.
Okay, so let's put it
Uh,
this way. Let me rephrase that. You could have as many of whichever one as you wanted. So don't worry about
I
longevity.
see, I
But
see. All right, all right.
what is your favorite
Winder.
launcher to launch with on Beyblade Island? Is it
It's
string or
it's
is
a
it wind?
it's a winder.
That's fair.
It's a
Okay.
winder. I noticed this from the beginning of the game when Beyblade X came out because a lot of people during Beyblade Burst were going for the string launchers because the string launchers were so much more powerful. When Beyblade X came out, the ripcord launchers or the winders felt more powerful than the string launchers do. Now, statistics sell you something a little bit different, but I don't care what statistics say right now because I care what it feels like in my hand,
Yeah.
if you know what I
And that's
mean.
and that's totally fair. I do think that there is a bias amongst some of the top tier players towards string launchers, and I would
Right,
argue that maybe that's why some of those results lean that way. Um,
right.
because I do think in X we have two incredibly fun and competitive launchers, and I think you can make an argue. If you had told me string, I wouldn't have laughed at you and called you a moron. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
think I think either one can be a valid answer, and I think it just depends on your preference.
I mean, I think
Um,
we
Yeah,
probably all would have laughed at you if you said proto, though. But that's beside the point.
well,
I should have. I should have.
I'm done.
But it wasn't even the option, so
I'm done. I mean, there are other launchers, right? The proto launcher we all know is objectively bad, and there's no reason to really talk about it. But there are some people, and not a ton, but there are some people that really got behind the hold launcher that came with Saber Samurai.
Yes.
right. Yeah.
So
I noticed the hold launcher feels kind of weird in the hand. and it's like a lot of plastic to throw away if it wears down.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
not a big fan of the hold launcher now, and it's ironic because when I first started playing, I thought it was the best launcher, and anyone who didn't use it was a moron, right? But
Right.
come to find out, to be honest, my favorite thing that the hold launcher did was introduce us to the longer ripcord.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the
Very
thing
true.
that makes the winder so much better is the ripcord, I think, was what accelerated the winders. Because you
It's
could rip as fast and as hard as you can with a string launcher, but those teeth on that winder, it's gonna be something else, you know?
it's pretty crazy. So as I mentioned earlier, most of us were not playing Beyblade before Beyblade X, but I have since went back and played a little bit of Burst with some buddies of mine who picked up X when I introduced it to them, but they still had all their old Burst stuff.
Nice.
You are not lying. The winder launchers, or at the very least the Hasbro winder launchers from Burst, are absolutely abysmal. They are terrible.
They are trash. They are okay, in a way though, I can't tell if they're better or worse than the proto launchers we have today. Now
Damn.
that I think about it, I think they are a lot worse than the proto launchers.
I think they are too. That ripcord is so flimsy. Um, when you pick up a winder launcher from Beyblade X, it feels good in your hand. Like when you rip it,
Right.
it feels powerful. When you rip a Beyblade Burst winder launcher, I do feel like I'm playing with a toy designed for 5-year-old children.
Exactly.
So,
The
Cake, what do you got?
oh, sorry.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
no, do you got anything more to
I,
add there, Noah?
I was just gonna mention that the have you guys noticed the launcher winders, how they have that divot at the top of the launcher winder there?
The new
Kind
ones or the
of
Burst ones?
the new ones. The burst ones never had any. It's
Okay.
the Beyblade X winder, because of burst and metal fight and the constant clicking and tearing at the gears. I think it was a genius idea that they designed the winder they have now today to have like a little bit of a gap so that when kids are clicking and grinding gears, that it doesn't grind the ripcord as much.
That's fair.
Unlike
I do
unless
like
it's
that. Like,
yeah, unless it's that red grip launcher, because that just ate the shit out of cords.
oh, you
Man,
don't like the red. I feel like the red one's an improvement over the black one, to be totally frank.
No, the red
are we
one.
talking about
Yeah,
Beyblade X?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I think what Cake's talking about is the black hold launcher that comes with Saber Samurai versus
Right.
the red hold launcher that comes with the Xenoscalibur remaster.
That is such a cool Beyblade.
It looks beautiful. It is unfortunately not very competitive,
No,
Sam.
it really isn't. No. I've seen videos of people like taking Beyblade Burst decks or Beyblade Metal Fight or Plastic Gin decks, and it's like a 50-50 toss up when you go to a tournament where getting, your official, up to date Beyblades is like almost a 75% chance of winning kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also, I have to say, I do appreciate your style. I saw you ordered a gear case from Takara Tomy, and I have to say, I appreciate the fact you got the white one. The white one looks so much better than the black one.
The reason I got the white one was because I didn't get the black one yet, actually.
To be fair,
I
yeah, I listen, that's fair too, but I feel like it looks so much nicer than the black one.
it is a nice case. But yeah, I will say this, I do want to get the black one so I can just have both cases. But I do like the white one, really. My goal with the white one, or my goal with those cases, was to have a full single color deck. So if you notice in the video, most of those Beyblades are red, and the launcher and the handle itself are red. And so it was just like, I want to go to a tournament where my entire deck is just red, because red is my favorite color.
That's totally fair.
So I'll just bring my soon to be red coat Tyranno Beat and destroy
Hopefully.
everybody.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Tornado Beat is is still a really good underrated bay that still tops to still at some places, which is still crazy, but it's still a really good bay.
I mean, Cake, you
Yeah.
gotta figure the first and second place teams at the team event this past weekend were both running Tyranno Beat in final stage.
Yes. Which
So
is crazy, but yeah, it's still out there, guys. So
Right.
mhm.
I'm not
So
sure if I did a Tyranno Beat video recently or not, but one of the comments requesting a Beyblade combination was Tyranno Beat. I think it was the first video I did was Tyranno Beat. Now that got popular. A lot of my Tyranno Beat videos got real popular. Everybody likes Tyranno Beat, but nobody uses it.
oof.
I did. I used it.
Well, I'm glad you used it because that makes me happy now.
Yeah.
Hey, that
Finally
was my first ever time competing in a tournament.
Oh,
Judged
really?
Yeah, I've judged every tournament since I started coming out in late August. I've organized now 3 events. I have my 4th one coming up this Saturday. Had never played
Nice.
in it, not once.
It's true.
And then Acuna forced me. He put a gun to my head and said, "You have to play, and if you don't, I'm going to blow your brains out." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I got to do it then."
He probably put that hold launcher that looks like the samurai sword to your head.
Yes. Yes, he
So I'm
did.
done. I love it. I love it. So Cake, did you have any other questions or anything you wanted to run through with Noah?
Oh yeah. Besides Mala Toys, do you have any other sponsorships?
Currently, no, I don't. Not right now. Just Mall of Toys.
Who is a sponsorship that you would like to be have a partnership with?
Definitely Bays and Bricks. I like their format. Let's hear. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Not too many other places. Although, as far as Hasbro goes, since Hasbro releases Takara Tomy, like they release the same thing, that opens up some more opportunities for Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
So I know at one point I worked with a company that I got paid for doing videos for them, but those videos you won't ever find them because they haven't been released, unfortunately.
Oh.
But I mean, at least I got paid for them, so
Yeah, very true.
I still, yeah, exactly. I still want to show them because they are some of my favorite videos that I worked on. I mean, some of the editing I put into them, I would love to show, but I haven't been able to. Basically, because they've pretty much bought the video, is what the case
That's
is.
fair. So
Yeah.
they own the rights to display or not display the video if they want to, right?
Exactly. And I wish I had been a little bit smarter. Of course, I didn't have a choice since this was the first time I was doing this with them. But if I had a choice, I would have done a temporary contract with them so that I could show my videos because I love showing my art.
Yeah.
A lot of my videos are especially the theme-based ones are more theatrical, and so you'll notice I put a little extra artistry into those videos.
That's totally fair. Now I gotta ask, and if you can't answer, that's fine. But were these videos that you're alluding to, are they Beyblade related or something else entirely?
Oh, they're Beyblade related.
Oh, man.
The sole thing is that they are Beyblades, but I'm merging other worlds of other different shows and things into these Beyblades, like the themed Beyblades, like Ninjago Beyblades. That was something I did during the Burst days. My most recent and biggest thing that I did recently was How to Train Your Dragon theme in Beyblade X.
I did see that. I did see the thumbnail for that.
That was How to Train Your Dragon is my favorite series, and I just had to redo that. I had done that in early Burst. It was like one of my first videos, and to redo that into Beyblade X was so good.
Maybe you'll have to do a remaster of that with featuring Meteor Dragoon. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm
There
gonna
you
have
go.
to do some. I still have some. Actually, if you look at my Instagram, it's the same name and everything. I post a whole bunch of themed Beyblades on there more than I do on my YouTube. I just haven't done it very often because I've only started doing it on Instagram. So it's basically just pictures of the combinations, but I've got a whole bunch of other dragons that you wouldn't see in the main videos.
That's totally fair. It's totally
And
fair.
I've been doing Avatar: The Last Airbender too. So if people like Avatar, go check out those combos because those things, they're actually pretty good combos.
Yeah. I will be putting Noah's all of his social medias in the description. So if you guys could go check him out, if you like his content, show this guy some love. He's a great guy. So I guess one of the very final questions that I got for you there, Noah, is what did actually make you make YouTube and TikTok content about Beyblade stuff?
It started out as me wanting to be a YouTuber. I wanted to, seeing a lot of the big greats like Dan TDM, Markiplier, Stampy Longnose. If anybody was interested in Minecraft, I was a huge Minecrafter. I actually wanted to do YouTubing in Minecraft, but that was a little complicated. But when I started getting into Beyblades, I found out that Beyblades was a lot easier to do and a lot more fun. And I love ripping and feeling the power, hearing the sound, watching them explode and everything. It was adrenaline on power, if you could say. And I just enjoyed playing Beyblades, and that's where I started. I wanted to do Beyblade content. I don't know if that answered your question or not, but
No, 100%. But that is all the questions that I got. Chad, Martine, Vile, do you have any other final questions for Noah before we kind of send her off?
Not really.
No. Just
Gucci
really-
gang, Gucci gang.
Gucci
Fair,
gang.
fair enough. But Noah, where
Alrighty
can
then.
people go and find you at?
You can find me on YouTube at Noiahplays, Noiahplays, and it's the same thing across all platforms, so it's easiest. So TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
Fantastic. Yeah, like I said, I will be putting all of his social medias in the description. So go ahead and check this guy out. Makes great content. He's a great content creator, so definitely go check him out. Show him some
Oh, thank
love.
you.
So do really appreciate you taking the time. But before we actually send everything off, Vile, would you like to talk about your tournament that is this coming weekend?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Ooh.
So this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, at 5 p.m., Kraken Hits in Fridley, Minnesota, we are going to have an Infinity Stadium tournament. It's going to
Oh,
be
wow.
all the standard rules that you kind of know and love. We're not changing up anything super major. 3-on-3 format, same as usual. And of course, the same old $7 entry fee that everyone's kind of, familiar with at this juncture. But we are going to be in the Infinity Stadium, okay? And, I would love to have a big set as the first place prize, but in order for that to happen, we need to make sure the attendance numbers are up so the prizing budget makes sense to allow for that. So everyone, make sure to sign up on the WBO page. Make sure to tell your friends and family, and let's all show up and get it done, and to infinity and beyond, or some shit like that. So
And Gucci
there we go.
Yeah, there are.
Nice Toy Story.
That was literally the point. That was literally even on the graphic I made for it.
I love it.
Is it
That's
really?
genius.
Oh, to infinity and beyond. Oh, yeah.
He realizes it.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I am unable to make it, so I haven't really looked deep into the great arts that Vile has done. But yeah, if you guys are interested in the Infinity Tournament, Kraken Hits, Friendly, Minnesota, doors open at 4. Event starts about 5 o'clock. There are still some spots open. So it is going to be a completely different, but a completely fun event to go to. So definitely come and check that out if you are in the Minnesota or surrounding area. But
It's
other than
it's a whole new place with a brand new attitude, but you still got to catch them all and be the best that you can be. Pokemon Johto.
Digimon,
Digimon's so good.
It is.
It is.
except
I
for
think
Try. I didn't.
Unpopular opinion, but Digimon are better than Pokemon because they evolve so much more.
Oof.
Well, Digimon are the champions, and
Dang.
Digimon are also
Yes.
Oh my god. And on that,
Change into magical creatures to save the digital world.
world.
I love it.
Anyway,
I love it. The way they say world. The way they say world.
Anyway,
That's
so
the best part of the song is when they go digital world.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions, Digimon, digital monsters. Anyways.
I love it.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh boy, now I'm gonna have to come up with some other ideas for some themed Beyblades.
Ooh,
I'm
you
really
go.
thinking Sonic.
Sonic
We were
would be
talking
cool.
about that. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Doing Sonic Beyblades.
No,
Yeah,
just
we were talking about potential collaborations, and Sonic one was one that came up quite a bit.
quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about Pirates of the Caribbean?
That would
Oh
be
my
hard
God.
because of Disney, but oh well, actually,
Marvel. Marvel's
did
on there. That's all my
Marvel,
Disney.
Marvel and Star Wars, which is technically Disney.
When the
Some
Disney
people.
Disney.
I was watching Illinuk at one point, and I was commenting in his comment section, and everybody was talking about all the different collabs, and some people were saying like Power Rangers
Yes.
and it'd be so awesome to get How to Train Your Dragon like from Hasbro. It'd be so awesome to see that.
Well, I think Hasbro has some sort of right to Power Rangers, so I do feel like that's
Right.
entirely possible.
Or at least they
Could you
used
could
to.
you could you imagine like an original like Green Ranger with like the green metal coat, or not even, or the Dragon Zord with like a black metal coat? That would be so neat. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, instead of the green Golem Rock that we got, give the Dragon Zord or Green Ranger or whatever.
Yeah, talking about the green Golem Rock being Hulk, Hulk and then Red Hulk.
What
And then we got the Waffle Bay.
what about
That was
a red metal coat Red Ranger that's an echo of Tyranno Beat?
Yes.
Oh, that would be so cool.
It-
Dino Rangers.
That's the thing. That is a thing.
Oh, that would be so cool.
See, listen, Hasbro, listen, TT. We're giving you free.
Exactly.
We're giving you free material right here.
Marketing advice.
Oh my god! Honestly, their marketing advice.
The amount of money you could. Oh, sorry. What?
Yeah, going like their marketing advice should go off of the players. It's not hard.
Amen to that.
Like
We're giving you ideas that you can make so much money off of, but instead you decide to use the same Beyblade 5 times in a row and make different transformers out of it.
Oh God.
or I don't know, give us
and
another
Spider-Man.
version, or giving us another version of Metal Needle, which we don't need.
Or want. How about purple metal coat Kuromi from Hello Kitty? There we go. Done.
Yes, another Hello Kitty collab. That would be so awesome.
Oh my god!
I do not own a single Burst Beyblade, but I have strongly considered buying the Hello Kitty
Do it.
Burst Beyblade.
Do it.
I kind of want to.
Do it.
Anyways, on that note, this
I
is
have one.
This is another episode of the Spin Zone podcast. So once again, Noiahplays, thank you so much for collaborating with us and taking the time out of your schedule to be on the podcast. So once again, thank you so much for all that, and thank you so much for a great time there, good sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I definitely enjoyed it, and especially hanging out with some Beybladers that I've never really talked to anybody personally that are on the same level.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like anyways, I'm not gonna get into that, but it was I enjoyed hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much. So that is an episode of the Spin Zone podcast. Check them out. Links are in the description below. So, guys, until next time, so long. Stay safe out there. Have a great and awesome rest of your day.